slowly. Take your time getting over. Breathe now, deeply. You said I came out of nowhere.
Hey guys, so today we're gonna... Wait a sec. Whoa, yes, that is more like it. So today we're going to be doing a Q&A. Here we go.
Hey babe, you gon' be my lover, honey. I don't need another.
First question's from Facebook. What are your thoughts on salt? Do you add it to your food? If so, how much? Can we get enough sodium from fruits and veggies, or should we be adding a bit? Whole foods in general, fruits, vegetables, definitely provide some good bit of sodium, but almost every health professional that I've talked to has stated that we should be adding some salt to our food. We shouldn't be doing a salt-free diet. This is coming from Dr. John McDougall. I've talked to Dr. Lyle, who's an evolutionary psychologist and works at True North Health, which is a great clinic. They do actually some fasting there, which is even salt-free, and he actually recommends adding a little bit of salt to the diet. Honestly, I think it all depends who you are and what you're trying to achieve. If you're trying to eat just a general healthy diet, you can totally add salt to your whole plant foods. But there are some extreme cases where you do have to just cut out salt just to bring down blood pressure, for instance. But I would say try to keep it between 500 to 1,000 milligrams. Nutritionally, is pasta anything more than just refined carbs and low fiber? Well, I mean, pasta could definitely be high in fiber and not in refined carbohydrates if you're eating whole wheat pasta. You also have the protein in there. There are some vitamins and minerals. The best thing are obviously whole foods. You're not gonna get as nutrient dense stuff if you're focusing on pasta rather than whole foods, but pasta is great and it can definitely be part of a healthy diet, so I wouldn't just think of pasta in those terms. Veggies that should be consumed more often in raw form rather than cooked, and vice versa. Maybe like your leafy green vegetables like lettuce, you want to eat those raw. Tomatoes, which I guess are technically a fruit, but if they're slightly cooked, they do have a bit more nutrition, like for instance lycopene. Also cruciferous vegetables, you want to cook those as well. I'll list more down below, but in general anything that's kind of tender and soft you should eat raw, and anything a bit tougher like the cruciferous vegetables, try to eat those cooked. But don't stress over it. I mean, just eating fruits and vegetables is healthy enough. And then your next question is food combining. Not really about amino acid, more emphasis on iron and vitamin C, vitamin D and fat. I'm sure there's a lot. Yeah, there are some. I mean, like you mentioned some, so iron and vitamin C, like adding lemon juice or even some oranges, or drinking orange juice while you're eating your salad and beans can definitely help. Also, you mentioned fat and vitamin D, but that goes for any fat soluble vitamin really. You should be combining those, and it actually works out great because those fat soluble vitamins usually are found in greater quantities in foods that are higher in fat. And also adding fats to your salad. This is something that I learned, is that you actually absorb the nutrients from greens and just different vegetables when you add fats to them. And they also taste way better too. Black pepper and cumin, or black pepper and turmeric, it helps the body absorb curcumin, but a lot of them are obviously myths, like the rice and the beans thing. And I know you didn't ask about this, but there's plenty of protein in all plant foods, and also the fruit combining charts, there's not real science behind that. So at the end of the day, do what works best for you. And yeah, I would say what we just talked about, take those into consideration because fruit combining does help in certain instances. I was wondering about omega-3. As a vegan, how much do I actually need, or is it a big scam? If I go high carb, low fat, how do I make sure that I get enough omega-3? Obviously an important nutrient. It's way more important that you keep your ratios of omega-3s to omega-6 in a 1:4. When it goes out of balance and people start adding a lot of oils and refined fats to their diets, then a lot of imbalances start. It really doesn't matter how much omega-3 you eat after that. So I don't know if it's a scam, but there's a lot of emphasis on eating omega-3. In general, I would add like flax seeds, hemp seeds, chia seeds, like to your oatmeal or smoothies. Those tend to be pretty high in omega-3s. I'm working on my transitions. Let me know how you guys like them. I don't drink hot beverages. Do you recommend any certain brand of green tea that is store-bought? Any matcha teas that are easy to prepare that would last for a day or two in a pitcher? We'll love to find something convenient and not really expensive, thanks. I'm not that big of a tea drinker. I actually don't even consume caffeine, no coffee, no tea, no sodas. It's just a personal preference. But I do watch Dr. Greger's videos on nutritionfacts.org. He's super into the teas. He says there's a lot of health benefits to them. He drinks a lot of green tea, matcha tea like you mentioned, even hibiscus tea, which apparently has the most antioxidants. So sorry I can't recommend any brands for you, but I would definitely check out his videos if you haven't already. Is it good to drink apple cider vinegar? I've seen some videos and studies that say that it does help with weight loss. I don't think it could hurt adding some to your salad. You can experiment with it for sure, and I'll post the link down below to what I'm talking about. Hi bananiac, I'm a nutrition and food science major about to graduate with my bachelor's. I was wondering if you recommend to go straight into the internship afterwards or master's or both. I'm still debating myself. Well, first off, Jacqueline, congratulations. That's awesome. That's so great that you're trying to get into nutrition and food science. If your goal is to become a dietitian like mine is, of course the dietetic internship is the most important thing to focus on, but it is so competitive, especially after you're coming out of school and you just graduated with your undergrad degree. So when I graduated and I had applied to the internship, I actually didn't end up getting into it. And so what I did was I went and did a master's degree. Now, the great thing is a lot of jobs actually look for master's degrees, and it's a great bonus. Also, what you can do is when you apply for the dietetic internship in the future, you can put that on your resume and it's gonna make you look a lot better. It's gonna show that you actually have experience, and at the same time try to get a job while you're doing your master's. That way you can continue building your experience and come into the internship with more credibility, basically. Look for jobs that are with the government or nonprofit organizations. But if you want to give the dietetic internship a shot, there's no harm in that. It is kind of pricey, but don't be bummed if you don't end up getting into it. Definitely go down the master's route. My theory, and as well as many others in the profession, is that they're going to actually start requiring master's degrees in a few years. So why not get yours now anyway and have it look good on your resume when you apply? Megan asks, the starch solution says fats should be avoided, but isn't fat essential to help with nutrients in the body and provide satiety? So that's actually my favorite book, The Starch Solution by Dr. John McDougall. I love that book, and just the way he wrote it and all the science he provided and just his insight to it as well. But me personally, I actually don't follow everything that he says to the dot. Like, I do like overt fats, like avocados and olives, coconuts. I love that stuff, but he's absolutely right in the sense that we should limit this stuff because it is dense in fat and calories, and if we eat this on a regular basis or in large amounts, it can be pretty bad if we're trying to lose weight, if we're trying to clear up our skin, if we want more energy, things like that. But I did mention before, if you add fats, like let's say you add an avocado or olives to your salad, you'll end up absorbing the nutrients from your greens and your vegetables more efficiently. So adding a little bit of fat to your diet is definitely not harmful. This is an interesting question, Joe. Would you rather have a world without animals or have humans keep eating them? I don't think I could live without animals. Like, I love my dogs, my cat, my ferret. I just love animals in general. I think that they can teach us a lot. You know, they say that we're the smarter, more advanced creature, but actually we can learn a lot more from animals than they can learn from us. Anytime we let somebody watch our dogs, if we're going out for vacation or on a road trip, like, my life feels so empty without them around. So I would hate to have a world without animals, but at the same time, I hate the fact that uneducated, unaware, ignorant, and just plain mean humans are eating these animals. I would say I keep everything the way it is now and just keep fighting for the animals so they can exist with us. It's kind of a weird question, and to be honest, I love would you rather type questions. They just put you in a tough spot, and you just kind of have to make a decision. But I'd say I'd keep everything the way it is and just keep fighting for the animals as I am doing right now. Let me know below what you guys would say to that question, and let me hear your best would you rather type of question with a vegan spin on it. All right, let's keep it going. Here's a good one you may not be able to field. I've been getting into Native American craft and jewelry. A lot of items are traditionally created with things such as bone, leather, feathers. Is wearing Native American jewelry such as leather, bone, feather necklace considered not vegan? Here's what I could say to that. I think it depends how it's harvested. I mean, if it's something you just find in a forest after an animal dies and it's just there, besides the fact that it comes from an animal, I don't see why it would not be considered vegan, because it would not be killing or harming the animal. But if it comes from harming or killing an animal, that's definitely not vegan. Like, I don't even have to be the vegan police to tell you that. You are the only person that can answer that question. If you don't know how it's sourced, definitely find out. It's just like if I were to find a shark tooth on the beach and make it into a necklace. Like, I don't see why that would not be vegan. If it's just there and I'm picking it up, it might as well just be a rock or something. But if I'm going out and I'm hunting and I'm killing sharks and then turning their teeth into necklaces, definitely not vegan. Didn't know you had left Miami, South Florida. When did you leave? Why and where did you go? Glad you spent some time down here and posted those beautiful videos. What did you like the most and the least of the city? Been here since 1978 and it's been one of the most beautiful cities in the world to my taste. I know I'll miss it if I ever leave. Oh man, I definitely miss Miami. It was for sure one of the best places I ever got to live. I now live in Maryland, where I'm from, and we just got a bunch of snow, which you guys saw in the beginning of this video. Super excited to be down in Florida again. But I would say the thing that I liked the most about Miami was for sure the weather. Like, warm weather all year round, you cannot beat that. Riding my bike all year round, and man, just, yeah, that was so cool. It's only been like a couple months with the cold and I'm already tired of it. But I would say the thing that I liked the least about Miami was the traffic. It was ridiculous. Driving through Miami, that is just something I don't want to ever experience again. And not only the traffic, but the drivers too. And this doesn't go with just Miami, I think it's all of Florida. And I hate this stereotype like that, but people in Florida, especially in Miami, do not know how to drive. I felt like I was fighting for my life every time I got behind the wheel. I think I saw somewhere that Miami is the number 10th city in all of the United States that's the most congested in terms of traffic. And I believe that. But overall, it was a great experience in Miami. I actually got to learn a little bit of Spanish and made a ton of friends, so awesome. Any suggestion on doing exercise and diet for hypoglycemic? I was practicing yoga for the past 3 years and doing jogging 5 days a week since I was a teenager. Now I'm 31 and my physician said I must cut back on my exercise because I always end up shaking even after only 15 minutes on the mat. I did eat something before, but it always happened anyways, so I stopped trying. I'm gaining 4 kilos in 2 months and I feel really uncomfortable in my own skin these days. Yeah, so that's rough. Hypoglycemia is definitely something that you don't see too often these days. It's more like hyperglycemia, type 2 diabetes, with all this high fat foods and processed foods and all this stuff. So hypoglycemia you don't tend to see too often. What you want to do is you want to get those sugar levels to be stable. You don't want them to drop too low. Meal frequency is very important, so you want to eat very frequent throughout the day. Focus on complex carbohydrates as opposed to simple carbohydrates. In terms of exercise is great. I don't think you should cut it out, but definitely don't push yourself to the point where it's uncomfortable. So start easy and work up the intensity as you get more comfortable, and always have food around with you if you're going to exercise. In case your blood sugar falls too low, you want to bring it back up with some carbohydrates. I was just reading a great article here by PCRM, and they have some even meal planners like for the day. So I'm just going to read you guys an example. You could start off with a cup of hot whole grain cereal like oatmeal with some fruit in there, have some whole grain bread, carrots, celery sticks, have some salad with raw veggies, the non-fat dairy-free dressing, whole grain bread, more fruit. For snack, you guys can have 4 crackers, a piece of fruit. Dinner can be brown rice, pasta, a baked potato, beans, tofu, vegetables, and another snack can be like popcorn or fruit. So it's pretty simple stuff, all healthy. But yeah, like I said, the meal frequency is going to be important, and not being afraid of carbohydrates. Like, you definitely want to eat carbohydrates. A lot of people are scared because they think that's the enemy, even with diabetes, but no, you have to eat the carbs, really limit that fat, if anything. So those were all the questions. I hope you guys enjoyed them. It's been getting a little windy, so apologies for the sound, but let me know if you guys have any more questions you guys want me to answer in future Q&As. Some girls screaming at me over there. And also I want to say I've been working on a pretty cool collaboration that I'm super excited. I don't want to give anything away, but it's going to feature a bunch of awesome vegan YouTubers, so you guys are really going to like that. Subscribe down below to stay tuned. Give this video a like if you found it useful, and we'll see you in the next video.